It hasn't been a good Monday for the business community in Kisenyi, but of course we do wish them well in the later coming few months and weeks. Welcome aboard to Business Today. My name is Jerome Paul Sobko with Winnie Wins and Akuchi in Sign Language. It is the 13th day of February 2023. But first, a look at our top stories.
In Business Today, business and household gutted as fire blazes through suburb. Authority appears before the Committee on National Economy to align loan funds and road infrastructure development. Legislators and other stakeholders submit to reroute Ginger to former industrial glory and tourism.
All right, now we start off with the fire that has gutted Kisenyi again. The fire that destroyed the Kisenyi commercial district in the early morning hours claimed the lives of numerous houses and businesses worth billions of shillings. And a similar conflagration that ravaged Kampala just last year in January and August caused events that have come to be associated with the city. Monica Nabionga with the report.
Residents in one of Kampala's congested suburbs, Kisenyi, are announcing massive loss and damage following an inferno that shoved through households and business stores operated in the area. It is suspected that the fire broke out at around 2 to 4 a.m., raging through uncontrollably. By the time the fire brigade arrived, only damage control could be done as numerous items had been burnt to ash. Cause of the outbreak has, however, been attributed to relentless land wrangles.
This fire outbreak every year has been demoralizing Ugandans, more so Kisenyi people. So we assume and we always know that this fire outbreak is always caused with these land wrangles. And the second one should be the electricity connection is. More so the electrical connectors, they connect electricity or not a professional way. So we appeal to Ugandans and the government of Uganda at least to have a fundamental report on this fire outbreak within this area of Kisenyi 2 parish. So even I call all those with some support to come and at least come and give us some assistance within this area. Very many people have lost their properties, business have been destroyed. So that is our appeal to Ugandans, and then the appeal to the government, of which we normally know that the government of Uganda doesn't give some bail out to these common people, this small scale industry. It only gives bail out to the big industry. So we even ask the government even to start bailing out to these common people of the area who have lost their properties.
The Police Directorate of Fire Prevention and Rescue Services, with help from residents, responded and managed to extinguish the fire, but a lot had already perished. While residents attribute the cause to land wrangles, information from police heavily differs, as according to them, cause is still unknown and will be established after thorough investigations.
We had to use what we had available in the trucks. Now, this place has no fire hydrant. You realize that our trucks, even as of now, are not here. They have gone to refill from our fire quarters. So, as far as I'm concerned, for us, we did not struggle. The problem is lack of a fire hydrant nearby. That's where the problem is. Otherwise, if there was a hydrant here, no vehicle would withdraw to go and refill from where it is refilling right now. Yes. So we had vehicles here of varying capacities. The scale of destruction, we cannot determine in monetary terms, but there is much property which has been destroyed. In terms of saving, yes, we have saved the portions which were properly built. Now, the factors which have led to the spread of this fire are that the structures are made of makeshift materials like iron sheets and wood. these materials spread the fire easily. And also there's a factor of the presence of flammable dust from flour. Okay, so that one also is a factor for the fast spread of the fire. Now, the origin of the fire, we cannot determine where it actually originated from. Probably we are going to interview the people who are around. And the cause of the fire, we cannot determine as of now.
Uganda and Kampala's fire outbreaks have cumulatively taken on major sectors such as education, real estate, trade, among others, crushing millions of investment beyond recovery. The informal sector has repeatedly been prey to this, as previous infernos at Owino markets highlight the trend amid land wrangles on fiscal planning inefficiencies. Residents still hold the police at ransom, claiming it has never come up with a comprehensive report on different occasions.
These two outbreaks of the fire, we have never seen any report from the government or from the police. And it is even known everywhere. No any fire outbreak in Uganda the report has been released out. So we are even used to that the report will not be given out.
The city's urbanization trend has often turned chaotic, caught between household and business infrastructure development. In intervention, Salim Uhuru, the mayor for Kampala Central, has urged the so-called landowners to negotiate with the residents and business operators to find a common ground.
It's very unfortunate, very sad news that they have, again, it's not the first time, it's not the second time, it's not the third time, it's not the fourth time. The burning of the people of Kisenyi 2 is becoming beyond. So I totally condemn that kind of act and request whoever's come out with that dirty heart is we're going to mobilize the community to go back to where they have been. Other than negotiations, it would have been better to negotiate than coming and banning these people.
Kisenyi Business Center is a state suburb mainly known for accommodating produce-related enterprises such as maize and stores, poultry feeds, among others. Amid insurance, struggles for informal sector establishments, police, fire prevention and rescue services shall require heavy funding for timely response. Monica Nabionga, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
The Kampala City Council Authority performance audit. The report submitted by the Kampala City Authority, KCCA, regarding the performance of loans that total up to $175 million from the World Bank and $246.20 million from the African Development Bank, both of which were used to build and maintain roads in Kampala, was not approved by the Committee of National Economy. The committee claims that the Kampala City Council Authority has not stated the price per kilometre of work on each road. We do have more in this report.
Last month, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives pushed the National Economy Committee to consider the report that the Kampala minister had submitted on the expense of maintaining Kampala's roadways. Today, representatives of the KCCA joined the Kampala Minister Kabyecho Fatogabye and Mrs. Dorothy Kisaka to give accountability on the number of roads constructed with the help of the loans.
To see, but just in terms of highlighting what the pictures are of the different sites, you see them there, and the first one is Fairway Junction. The second one on the right is Chira Road.
According to legislators, this is not satisfactory enough because they have not indicated the cost of each road as per square meters as asked by the House.
You can't come to a committee of national economy and you don't bring financials. It clearly shows and answers our fears that there is something hidden, there is something fishy in terms of the costing of roads in this city or in this country. And to us, it's unacceptable. That's why you see I moved the motion to make sure that they come back with a full report attempting to answer our questions.
Because the loans were provided in dollars, the legislators also learned that more than 60 billion shillings in foreign exchange rate losses occurred. This information indicates that someone was responsible for all the losses which will cost the nation.
Minister of Finance should have notified Parliament before about this, about how much money we are losing in all the loans that we are having, because we not only have this $246 million, we have very many loans that we are in dollars, in pounds, in euro, and from this has been an eye-opener for Ministry of Finance to come up and give us a schedule of how much billion we are losing, how many billions we are losing in exchange rates. There must be somebody that is playing around with the exchange rate and is gaining from the change from dollar, from euro to pound to shilling.
According to Honorable Lydian Abe, the kind of work KCCA is doing in the city is substandard, yet a lot of money was borrowed to have these repaired. Like other legislators, she has advised that the KCCA goes back and brings more detailed report because what they have presented to the committee is very lacking.
And the team from KCCA, led by my sister here, we need to focus a lot on the quality of the work we are doing in the city. When we get money and invest on something, the duration it's supposed to work should be reasonable enough. If you take an example of the road, which is not captured here, but if you take an example of this road on industrial area, I always see repairs being done. Every time, rainy season repairs must be done. Can't we get a permanent solution to fixing that?
On the other hand, the Minister for Kampala, Chofa Togabye, has informed the committee that the issue of land acquisition is still a concern in Uganda and has slowed down the economic development, particularly the construction of the roads.
Some sections have already started facing these challenges, and we shall leave. And the same applied to Rubiji channel. We had to skip 900 meters of the channel, cannot be constructed because multiple kind of claims and counter claims. So they wanted to abandon. But this is a channel which evacuates floods from the city, and people are comfortable with it.
The KCCA Executive Director has informed the committee as well that the campaigns to begin work on the roads have already begun with the patching of potholes, and they anticipate beginning of the actual work in the next month.
Starting the work on roads is not a specific event that you wake up in the morning and you say, today we've started the roads. No, it's a process. And this process includes mobilization, right of way, talking with stakeholders, forward maintenance. Those things, as I speak now, are happening. And so we have started on the roads. Why? The contracts were signed. The money was released for the forward works to these people. There is no reason why we should delay. But the event called the launch hasn't happened. When you see me on the roads inspecting, I want to ensure that all the forward works are done before our political leader comes and launches the roads.
The National Economy Committee is to meet these officials again with a detailed report before they can present to the August House their findings with the loan performances. Sam Lanifa, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now, is Jinja City a paradise for investment? Because when you get to realize this, Uganda's economy has been growing steadily in recent years, and Jinja City has emerged as a major hub of economic activity. From its vibrant tourism industry to its booming manufacturing sector, it has a lot to offer to the investors. Now, Bronia Katosime report.
Due to its breathtaking nature beauty and extensive cultural legacy, Jinja City is well known as a tourist hotspot. Because of the recent increase in tourists, the city is a popular place to invest, particularly in hotels, resorts, and other tourist facilities. Since the beginning of the 20th century, its advantageous position has made it a major business center.
There's serious business when it comes to cultural tourism harnessing. The Nile Museum is an excellent opportunity for anyone who wants to invest in tangible and tangible cultural tourism. The beauty about the business and opportunities on the Nile is that, one, it's ecosystem friendly.
Jinja, which is in eastern Uganda, is the second busiest commercial hub after Kampala. The storefronts there speak to Jinja's extensive Indian heritage. Jinja's economy is heavily reliant on trading. The majority of Jinja's long-abandoned industries are now being revived, and the city is reclaiming its former status as the most industrialized town in Uganda. Both domestic and foreign investors have been drawn in by the established infrastructures and the availability of reliable electricity.
As a growing economy, almost everything you look at is an opportunity. For Jinja, of course, being a tourism destination as well, there's a lot of opportunities, untapped resources around the River Nile, the source of the Nile, the lake. All that is untapped resource, untapped resource. So when you look at Jinja, almost everything is possible in terms of investment opportunities.
Timothy Batua, MP Jinja Southwest, continues to urge investors to focus on the Jinja infrastructure development so that travelers have enough time to enjoy the lovely landscape.
Whoever comes to Uganda would want to get to the source of the Nile. Where we are challenged at the moment is that whoever visits spends very little time at the source of the Nile. Within 5 to 10 minutes they are done. They've seen it, they've cleared their thoughts and minds and all speculations they had about the area, and they are ready to leave. So investors can come in, especially in areas where they look to stay the visitors who have come to visit the source of the Nile.
It was initially recognized as an industry city by a number of rising businesses, including agribusiness and renewable energy, oil and gas. Although these sectors are still in the early phases of development, they provide a lot of investment opportunities and have a great deal of growth potential. However, Toshi Bwana, a founder of the Jinja-based Umoja Conservation Trust, emphasizes that Jinja ought to have always been a tourism destination.
Climate change is real. Jinja should be a tourism city. In the thinking, I don't know, in the thinking of our four leaders, they thought probably the proximity to the Owen Falls Dam would lessen the transportation and the cost of, I don't know. But I think Jinja should never have been an industrial city. It should have always been a tourism city.
With its advantageous business climate, well-developed infrastructure, and accessibility to a competent workforce, Jinja is well positioned for future growth and success. Bronya Katsime, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now, the Ministry of Internal Affairs has said it is currently stuck with over 20,000 new passport booklets that have not been picked by the owners. And Simon Peter Mudei, who is the ministry's spokesperson, made the remarks during the police joint press conference today in Nakuru, Kampala. And in relation to security, the said joint press conference, Freddie Enanga, who is the police spokesperson, addressed the issue of fraud, stating that police have detained 9 persons, including 2 managers, from Stanbic Bank for plotting with others to steal 6.6 billion from one of the bank's clients. This and more with Pedersen Mombere.
According to Simon Peter Mudei, the spokesperson for the Ministry of Internal Affairs, there is another accumulation of passports totaling to over 20,000 booklets. Many of these were applied, paid for and processed, but the owners have not picked them and that the centers are running out of storage.
On the issue of collection of passports, we are yet again having a stockpile of passports at our collection centers in Chambogo, Gulu, Mbale and Barara, totaling to almost 20,000 booklets. These passports, as you know very well, people applied for them, they even paid for them. We went ahead and processed them.
Mudei notes that with 3,000 passports being processed and printed each day, the Directorate of Immigration and Citizenship Control is currently stuck and is bringing them a big challenge.
Noted that the problem could be because applicants do not receive the SMS messages, some of them informing them to collect their passports, because most likely of 2 reasons. One, some applicants put incorrect numbers, telephone numbers on their applications. And the commonest problem has been replacing 0 with O.
The Minister of Internal Affairs spokesperson asked that everyone who applied for a passport and hasn't yet received it should contact the ministry via its social media platforms for clarification on the stage of their application. Pedersen Mombere, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
Which gave them unauthorized access to a client's account where they made unauthorized transfers of funds amounting to US dollars 1.8 million into other bank accounts established solely for the purpose of receiving the stolen funds. At the direction of the respective branch managers, that is at Freedom City and Garden City Stanbic Bank branches, the funds were withdrawn and stolen using forged documents of a Kenyan passport number, AK0849025, and forged inter-account transfer forms, all in the names of Mohammed Abdul Hakim Hussein, one of the company directors and signatory to the account of Nile Energy Company Limited. The suspects in conspiracy with selected bank staff at Garden City and Freedom City branches opened 3 accounts in the names of Dixon Kagurusi Ampumuza and account number 9030012835107, and then another account number in the names of Petrom Limited, and a third account number in the names of Famane Investments Company Limited. And after compromising the account of Nile Energy Company Limited, they transferred, they made the transfers to these 3 accounts. At least about more than 6 withdrawals were made of US dollars 495,000, US dollars 287,000, US dollars 295,000, US dollars 90,000, US dollars 60,000, US dollars 295,000, and US dollars 495,000, respectively, by the suspects who purported to be Mohammed Abdul Hakim Hussein, the director of Nile Energy. Now, we also established that Petrom Limited allegedly belonged to a one called Oscar Chabukasa Lutaya and Hashur Rahman as the directors, while Famane Investments Company Limited is owned by Oman Gebreyesus, Fiona Dede and Elijah Daniel Wanzu as the directors. And then we also have a third account, which is in the names of Dixon Ampumuza Kagurus. Of course, it was on the 2nd of this month, 2023, that one Tefera Robel, an Eritrean refugee who is in Uganda, was contacted by one called Shivan at Garden City, who asked him to go and drop documents at Stanbic Bank, Garden City. And of course, when he took these documents at Stanbic Bank, Garden City, they were intercepted after realizing that they were inter-account transfer forms with a face value of US dollars 988,200 US dollars. That was again going to be effected from the Nile Energy account and thereafter credited into the account names of Son Kagurusi Mpumuza, the director of Petrom Limited. So this is the only money which was saved. They were continuing to fleece the account. But however, this US dollars 988,000 was saved. So as a result, we tracked down 3 directors whom we arrested, and upon interrogation, they admitted to having received stolen cash to a tune of 250,000 US dollars, and engaged further with engaged into a gold transaction with 2 other suspects whom we are looking for. That is Mansour and Sam Fred, but there are no supporting documents to indicate that they engaged in this gold transaction, but investigations are continuing in that area. So the 12 suspects, out of the 12 suspects whom we have arrested, charges have been sanctioned against 9 of them who are going to appear before the Anti-Corruption Division today on charges of causing financial loss and money laundering. These include Tefera Okubalasi Robert, who was intercepted with a forged passport. We have Ayesiga Moses, the Stanbic branch manager, Garden City.
You're still watching Business Today, and this is Smart 24 TV. After the break, we shall return with more, including the coffee court.